Hey guys, welcome back from Classic Work. Got another interesting project here today. This is a side boom bushog mower on a tractor used to cut limbs and whatnot. I'm going to show y'all kind of how we rigged it up and how it actually works. This right here is actually a bushog that was designed to be pulled behind a four-wheeler or a quad in other parts of the country. It had a little old, like a 8 horsepower gas-powered engine like a Briggs & Stratton or a Honda. And whoever's designed this has replaced this with a hydraulic motor, and it runs off the hydraulics of the tractor, which it's pretty cool in and itself, and it works pretty cool. So without any further ado, let's get after it. Let's get started.
That's a little fancy, a little too fancy for me. Let's get on something more my speed.
Hey, you know what they say, safety first.
Alright, great. Gotta come back too. So we can roll back to the scooch. Right there. Really close. Get the rest of it in there. Bucket needs to tilt. Tilt the bucket. Too much junk around here. A little high. I get there. Cussing at it. Look at her. Okay, now we got the pipe in here in the receiver, and I got the pin put in. And this bush hog has a stabilizer on it. That's what I got in my hand right here. And what we got to do is we got to drill a hole through this nice pretty bucket to put this brace in, more or less. So it goes right here. It's got a 1/2 inch bolt, and then we've got to mark somewhere on the bucket down here so we can put that quick pin in. It looks like a category 1, just a receiver type. Wouldn't be a hitch, it'd be on the lift. But we've got to find ballpark pretty close to where we need to put it. So I'm gonna get down there and figure out where about to put it. And then we'll pull this back off. We'll whoop out the old mag drill and drill a hole through this plate and go from there. Okay, all I've done is I've got the brace here, and you can tell that it's not square with the bucket there, but it's going to get us pretty close. And all I did was take a magic marker and go around it to get a rough idea where the hole is going to be. And that's pretty much it. We got to take all this back apart now. Alright, just showing y'all the setup here. I got my mag drill clamped onto the bucket. You're really supposed to chain a mag drill up when you're using it out of position, but there wasn't any really good place to chain it other than if I use the forklift. So I put down some tires in case we have a power failure. I don't want that thing to fall off and break something. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Anyways, other than that, I got a 1-inch hole drill for the bit that we're gonna shoot a hole through the bucket. And let's cross our fingers and see if it works. Alright, sweet. One other thing I forgot to mention was the category 1's is 7/8, but I went ahead and drilled it to 1 inch, so I got an 1/8 inch of slack. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And I put a big 2-inch bar on the other side so the magnet had enough grab. So good, I'm gonna release it. And ta-da! That was done. Alright, we got everything locked in. Just got to finish the welding process. we got it all plumbed up, and it's kind of weird how all this works. Over here, we got the pressure side coming into the remote, but you can't feed the other side back into the remote, or you'll get your hydraulics too hot. So instead, you got to put a T in your return line. If you can see that line right there, and that's just a standard T on the bottom down here. If I can find it, there it is. Right there, and that goes back into your return. That keeps your hydraulics from heating up. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Okay, to turn the blades on, just use your remotes over here like you do in any normal tractor, and we've got set on number 1 remote, and you just push it forward. So this is kind of how it works. Just push this one forward. I don't know if you can see that belt turning way up yonder, but it's moving. And all you got to do is get you some form of bungee cord or something and tie it to this remote, so you ain't got to keep your hand on it. And to cut it off, just pull it back easy, and that's pretty much it. That's how it works. Pretty simple. I just wanted to go over a few things real quick before we call it quits on this project. When I first saw this idea, I was real skeptical of it. I thought it would work, but I didn't think it would work this well. It turns out that it is a lot of fun to drive, and it's a lot of fun to use. I thought that it would just bounce the limbs away and wouldn't be able to hack through them because it wouldn't have enough power, but it's got plenty of power, and it can go through it very easily. I said in the note before that it could take a 4-inch limb, and I was skeptical of that, but I cut 2.5-inch limbs off this hedgerow, and it had no problem handling them. So I would think if you went the right speed that 4-inch wouldn't be a problem. The only thing that I can say is when you raise and lower the bucket, it turns the speed down because the hydraulics demand more from the bucket. But that's not a real big issue because you can just keep it at one point. Another thing is I wouldn't have put this on a cab tractor because that windshield is begging for a stick to go through it. But I worked really hard, as you can tell, try not to skin up that pretty tractor. But it works out really well, and I was really impressed with this job. Anyways, guys, I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time from Classic Work, y'all take care, and God bless.